I will admit that as recently as last year, 2024, I kind of was like, well, I don't have kids. I'm not in school systems. Like, this is bad, but it's not really my problem.
Mhm.
And then more recently, as an author, I have been paying a lot of attention to it. But a question I'd love to ask is for romance readers who are reading adult titles from public libraries, or not even from public libraries, from Kindle Unlimited, from wherever,
Mhm.
does this affect us?
Absolutely. It affects us immediately and it affects us even worse down the road. One of the first things that happens when you designate certain types of people as dangerous to children, and we saw this back in the 90s when there were all the arguments about should we allow gay people to teach in schools. If you designate a class of people as inherently dangerous to children, then it's very easy to make it a crime for those people to be in public or around children at all. And then you have broad criminalizations against an entire group of people, and that's bad for all of us adults on the whole. So you'll see things like teachers getting fired or criminally charged for having a book about Ruby Bridges on the school shelf. And we've already seen some challenges like that in some of the states that have been pushing book bans. You also have the consideration that social media and algorithms and retailers like Amazon are going to be paying attention to these legal maneuvers, and they're going to start to ban some of the books that you're enjoying as an adult on your own. They're going to say, well, it's not worth being sued if we're carrying explicit sexual content for grown-ups. It's not worth being sued if we're carrying queer or trans content. If they start to use child pornography laws to go against trans romance on the internet, then all of us romance adult authors are going to be impacted, even if we don't have kids and aren't getting books from school and public libraries. So this is an old, old pattern. There's nothing new here. We've seen this before. We've seen this in the 90s. We've seen this in, Regency and Victorian Britain. So it's a very familiar pattern at this point, and it's important to recognize that it's happening and to do what you can to stop it in your own community. Now,
Yeah.
the good news is that there's a lot of ways to get involved and there's a lot of ways to help. Your local library probably has a friends organization you could join. Local school boards have open meetings where you can stand in support of your community and in support of the children who deserve access to books about the issues that concern them. Kelly Jensen at Book Riot has been tracking book bans in all 50 states, and she's always got pieces coming out explaining what's happening in your local area and how you can get involved. You can join Authors Against Book Bans if you're an author or illustrator. I feel like ALA is doing some legislation tracking.
Hmm.
They've also got social media graphics you can download for free and share on your local networks to get people more informed about what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things I was just looking at the ALA website, and they just recently in April released their analysis of what was happening in 2024.
Yeah.
And one that surprised me was that 55% of the book challenges, the majority of the book challenges that they tracked, were in public libraries, and only
Yes.
38% were in school libraries.
Mhm.
And we've seen in places like Idaho that there are legislation where, if a book is challenged and deemed inappropriate, it has to be put in a completely different room than the other books. But
Yes.
most of these libraries are so small, one-room buildings, that means they either have to completely eliminate their adult collection of books or shut
Mhm.
down.
Yeah.
And so it
It's
is,
an eliminationist stance. It's soft censorship. It's discouraging purchases that they know are going to be too difficult for them to maintain and impossible in some cases. Yeah,
yeah, and so it puts at risk the general public library in addition to what the children can read.
exactly. And public libraries have been a huge good in American culture at large. And anything we can do to defend them is going to benefit all of us either now or in the future.